my creatively faithful friends. This is Teresa. Welcome back to my channel. This is my very, very favorite video to film of the month. Other than my faith-filled videos. I love filming my faith-filled videos, but I do love also my TBR games. And I have a treat for you in store today. My friend Katie from Paperbacks and Ponytails gave me an idea last month when I said, if I roll a 6, because I have 5 games here, and if I roll a 6, I would just roll again. And she gave me an idea to just have the 6 be player's choice. Well, that was a fabulous idea. Well, I took that idea and I ran with it. So I have another die, a 12-sided die, because I came up with 12 different TBR games. So if I roll a 6, I will play one of those TBR games, and 3 of them I created. So that's what we'll do. So, and I put all those games in a spinner wheel, and then we will spin to see which of those games we create or we play. So I'm really hoping for a 6 today, but we'll see. Last month we played So Clover. So we'll see. So Clover is 1 this month. So Clover is 1. Hashtag Coffee and Books is 2. The TBR jar is a 3. Splurt is 4. I've never played that one. I played all the rest of them except for that one. And then these morning meeting questions, just questions that I would then relate to a prompt. That is number 5. And then number 6, we will do a spinner wheel to see what the spinner wheel chooses. Okay, so I'm hoping for a 6. Okay. It rolled off the thing, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have number 4. We'll be playing Splurt. And so what is this game? Is it says quick, name something fun to play beginning with the letter S. A slide whistle, a slot machine. How about Splurt? The hilarious fast reaction word game. Flip a card and be the first to shout out an answer. Of course, that's when you are playing the game, actually. Can you name an animal containing 5 letters? A song ending in E. Think fast. Say it first with Splurt. So let's take a look at a few of these cards. Okay, so I guess you would split the deck in half. Oh, here's the rules of play. Let's read those. Okay. You have 100 two-sided cards, double-sided cards. Collect the most cards by the time, well, we'll roll to see how many cards we choose. Pull out a stack of 20 to 40 cards, depending on how long you want to play. So we'll have that many anyhow, just so we have a selection. Shuffle the deck. Make sure all the cards face the same way and set it in the middle of the playing area with the pink side face up. So you flip over the top card, revealing it's a black side, and place it to the right of the deck. Okay, so this is how we would play. Okay, so let's shuffle the deck. These are really tough, stiff cards, though. So we're going to shuffle. And they're thick as well. Okay. So we're going to flip over. All players now simultaneously race to be the first to call out an answer that matches the criteria of the 2 cards. Okay, let me move this out of the way, and let me move this out of the way. Okay, so we have 2 cards. I'm thinking this is distracting. So we have two cards. We flip over this, and we have beginning with a P, a cartoon character. So how I would relate that to a prompt for a book is I have to choose a book that the title of it begins with a P and that has one of those cartoon covers, kind of like this, like Positively Penelope. That's a perfect example. That would be a book. I'm reading that this month though. That would be a book that I could choose for Positively Penelope is the title of it, and it has one of these cartoon character type covers. Okay, so that's how I will do that. So we will play that game, and I need a piece of paper so I can write down what it is that I have. Okay. I'm going to put that off to the side. Okay. And then let's roll our 12-sided die. Oh, well, that might be a problem. Because if I were to roll a 12 and I would need to have 12 books, remember, my books are piles of possibilities. They're not necessarily, I've got to read all 12 of those books, because I don't ever read everything that's on my TBR. So that's how we're going to play it. And yeah, so we're going to roll a 12-sided die and see how many things we need to choose. But not a 1. Okay? Not a 1. Okay, an 8. That's much better. Okay. So we're going to turn this over to the black, and not containing a C. Okay. So the book the prompt is not containing a C. Number 1, not containing a C, and a movie star. So this has to be, I'm going to say, and I might be setting myself up for failure for some of these. I'm going to say that it has to be set in Hollywood. And the title cannot have a C in it. Okay. So that is number 1. Okay. Number 2, beginning with an A. Beginning with A. And something associated with space. Okay. This is a way out of my comfort zone, but I'm going to say, and I know that my friend Katie will help me on this one. Yep, Katie, you're going to help me on this one. Beginning with an A, something associated with space. Space. So I'm going to say that I have to read a book that begins with the letter A and is a sci-fi book. I do not read sci-fi books at all. So there we go. Maybe it can fit something else, the reading out of my comfort zone or something for something else. Okay, so next one, containing only 2 vowels. A make or model of a car. Okay, has to have a car. 2 vowels. Has to have a car. So we'll say it doesn't have to only contain 2, just, number 1 and number 2, but it has to be like if the title has an A and an E, it can't also have an O. So one vowel has to be A, one vowel can be E, but it can't have any other vowels, but it can have multiple A's or multiple E's. That's how we're going to go with that one. Okay, I'm liking this game. Beginning with a B. Something found in a catalog. Okay, we're just going to say an object that starts with a B on the cover. Okay, that is number 4. Okay. Number 5 is not containing a D. No D. And song. So we're going to say that it can't have a D in the title. And either the title or the subject of the book has to be about music. And I know just the one for this. Okay. Number 6. Beginning with I. And something in this room. I have lots of these in this room. Ink. So I am going to say that the title doesn't really necessarily have to begin with I, but it has to have an I in the title, and it has to be about a printing press or printing or newspaper journalist or something like that. Okay, this is a little easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be hard. Okay, so we have containing only 2 syllables. Something found in an office. Okay. Okay, I know what we'll do here. Let's do a 1-word title. That has to have 2 syllables. And an object found in an office. Or the subject of an office or something. Object or subject of an office. I can't write. Okay, I'm really randomly thinking these things up that go with this. So, okay. Oh, my favorite, flowers. Okay, title that ends in an S. Ends in an S. I started to write beginning. Ends in S that has flowers, nature, or plant on the cover. Okay, so those are our 8 prompts. And I'm going to take all of those and put them at the back. Let's see, we'll make the, what did I do? We'll make the rules of play, separate them. So we won't get those again if we play this game again. Okay, so that one was pretty easy. That one was pretty easy, I think. We'll figure out how easy it is when I start looking for the books. Okay, and I better hush rambling or this video is going to be too long. So thanks so much for watching this clip, this part of it. Stay tuned to see what I'm going to read. Hello, my creatively faithful friends. This is Teresa. Welcome back to the second clip of my June TBR. I am sitting here today. I needed to get the rest of the things. I'm sorry I didn't have time yet to get the books from the library that I'm going to use, but I have my phone, and will put up the book right here that I am going to read. So for my TBR game, I played Splurt, and I had 8 books. And so I am going to read For Not Containing a C, set in Hollywood. And this is a stretch, but it might not be just set in Hollywood, but this woman is a Hollywood star. The Only Woman in the Room by Marie Benedict. I am going to read that. Remember, these are piles of possibilities. I may not get to them all, but I will try. I have been on a reading slump for the past 2 months, and I have not read a whole lot, but I'm trying to get out of it. So, okay. The next, I said I was going to ask my friend Katie to help me with this one, but I found something on my own, and we're going to test this out. So the next, number 2, was Beginning with A, something associated with space. And I found the book Arena by Karen Hancock. So we're going to try that one out. Of course, I'm putting them all right here. Then the next one was Beginning with a B. And it has to have an object on the cover. I had a plethora choice of books to read by this, and you'll just have to wait for my wrap up. I have like 4 different books that I am not sure which one I'm going to choose. So when I do my wrap up, which I am going to start doing wrap ups, when I do that, I'll let you know. Okay, number 5 was could not contain a D, and it had to have something to do with songs. And I have been wanting to read this book. This author I read a book by her last year, and it was my top rated book last year. And I am going to read Appalachian Song by Michelle Shockley. And then the next one, I went on the Facebook group Avid Readers of Christian Fiction to ask for some recommendations for this one. It has an I in the title, and it had to do with print of some kind or ink. So I am going to read, and I forgot to write down the author of this one, The Extraordinary Death of Mrs. Kipp. And someone told me that there was a reporter or something in that book. So a reporter has to use ink. So then the next book, number 7, is 2 syllables and Found in an Office. Again, I had to go on the, I think I might have skipped one. I did skip one. I'll go back to that in just a second. 2 syllables, and it had to be something found in an office. Again, I had to go on Avid Readers of Christian Fiction to see if I could get some help with this one. And I asked, and the author of this book responded, and she said her book by titled this had some things that were found in an office, and the title of it is Callie by Sharon Srock. So I will be trying out that book. And then number 8, it had to be ends in an S, so it had to have an S at the end of the title, and it had to have something to do with flowers or plants or nature. And I chose A Year of Flowers by Susanna Fisher. Okay, back to number 2 because I forgot that one. And this one is a stretch as well. I'm not sure. I'm hoping. I checked this book out of the library once last year and did not get to it, so I'm hoping. It has to have 2 vowels. And I said they had to be like, it could have multiple vowels of, like, it could have 3 I's or 3 E's or 3 A's and then 1 I. So, but it could only have 2 different vowels. So, and it has to have a car. So I chose The Wedding Dress by Rachel Houck. And again, I said I checked that out last year, did not get to it. Sounds amazing, so I want to read that. And then for my yearly challenges, again, I'll have the books right here. The word for Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge is a bird. I checked this book out of the library and didn't get to it. I am going to read The Yellow Bird Sings by Jennifer Rosner. And then for Cat Stories, biblical fiction readathon or biblical fiction retelling, I am going to read The Centurion's Wife by T. Davis Bunn, and then also read the Book of John. And then Amanda, for the Southern Comfort annual readathon, it has to be a book with storytelling or family gatherings. I'm going to read I've chosen A Spool of Blue Thread by Ann Tyler. And then for my readathon, #cozy readathon, the prompt for June, you don't have to go in order, but I'm going in order. So June is A Curious Mind, and just a book that has a curious component. And I chose, because this helps me fulfill one of my goals, one of my reading goals, is to read a Christmas book every single month, and I haven't really done that. I did it in January, but I haven't done it, I don't think I've done it since. No, I did it in February too, but I haven't done it since. So I need to get back on track with that. So I am going to read A Mrs. Miracle Christmas by Debbie McComber. And then Jeanette's readathon, I don't remember what it's called, but the prompt for June is a 1-word title, and I'm going to use the book Arena that I chose for, from the game. None of these others really fit what I did in the game. And then the last one that I'm participating in is Katie's Paperbacks and Ponytails, Princess Bride readathon, and I am finally, ladies and gentlemen, going to get to Across the Ages by Gabriel Meyer, and I'm going to plug that in to the prompt that says pirates, because I know that that book has something to do with pirates. So those are all my books that I am going to challenge myself to read. I am hoping, just pray with me, that I can get back into reading and be a reading machine for the month of June. So thanks so much for watching. I am so glad you joined me today, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.
Covering more stories and scripture.